One time I vividly remember waiting in my car and I was like, I don't want to go to practice. I'm like, I feel like I lost my sparkle for the sport. It was like, okay, we need to unpack that a little. What's going on?
What is it for you when it's not your A+ game that still makes you successful?
People look at your stats and they're like, oh, she had a good year, or oh no, she did. When I look back at my years, I think of like my mindset. If you feel ready and prepared, that's half the battle. And that's something that I want to master before the Olympic year.
When for you was that growing up where it was like, this is my mode, move on?
Moms, dads, grandparents, anyone that takes their kids, that car ride has to be.
Hey y'all, it's Montana Fouts and welcome to Inside the CRCLE. We have a special guest here today with Sharlize Palacios. I'm so excited to just hear life in and out of softball, just like your journey and who you are as a person. You're just literally my rock, so I'm just so excited to get to share you with everybody else today. So just thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to just have a chat with you.
If you guys haven't heard yet, me, Sharlize, Sam Landry, Sit Spates are going to be hosting a bunch of retreats this fall. It's going to be so exciting. I cannot wait to get to share this and introduce this with you guys, but we're going to be able to talk about a lot of things that we're going to be talking about here today. So I'm really excited for you to be joining us and we're going to talk about it a little bit, but it's just going to be so awesome. If you guys are interested, just montanafouts.com. You guys are going to be able to see all the different locations and just be able to join us in our little circle that we've got. You're going to be inside the CRCLE, which is going to be so much fun. I'm just going to let you just kind of talk about how it started, how old were you, just a brief little outlook on you.
Yeah, I guess I could start with like my family. That's where it all started. So I started playing when I was 4 years old. My sister, she's 5 years older than me, so she was 9. And I just remember always being at the ball field. Like I had my little DS and I was like not interested in softball. I always wanted to play video games. But my first memory, I feel like I always talk about it because it's so like wholesome, like humble beginnings, I feel like. We had a little patch of grass in front of our front yard that my dad like took so much care of. A Mexican dad loves their grass, so like he will always cut it. And we would always do like blocking drills there, and my sister was out there working with my dad. And I like saw them and I saw my dad throwing like tennis balls at her. And I was like, dude, he's like chucking it at her. And she was just blocking him. They would like all stay in front of her. And I saw like an extra little set of gear that was Sachel's old set that was like obviously smaller than her current set. And I put it on and I just went out there and I just started trying to block. And my dad, I was so little that he like picked me up like from my squat and like took my feet out underneath me so I could get into a block. And that's just my first memory of catching. And those shin guards have never been taken off since then. Like I've literally always worn them. And then yeah, so started when I was really young, and it was like an affair of me, my sister, and my dad. And then Saban was born, so then Saban got into the mix. And my mom was always just like, I don't want to have FOMO, so she would come out and watch us all three hit. And it was just so fun. Like I feel like we started in that little patch of grass, and then we've like gone to all these fields like across the country and now even like the world. So I feel like softball and baseball have just taken us everywhere.
You guys are so special to me because I feel like your family is so close. I mean, literally today they're driving 10 hours through the night to come to see you and bringing the dog, and you just are like the perfect little family. And I've never heard that story before, so that's really sweet. I'm really glad that you shared that. That's so cute. And you're really close with your sister, and I'm sure that's on here somewhere. We'll talk about it later, but you got to play a little bit with your sister to end her career. Yeah, so that was something that we never thought was going to happen. I played with her against her once when I was at U of A, and she was doing her tour for Mexico. And it was the weirdest thing, Tana. Like, I have only seen her from across the fence. So being in a game and I was catching that game and she was obviously hitting. When she was hitting, we like hugged before, and I squatted down and I was looking at her. And I like wanted to reach out and touch her because it was like my idol that I've watched all these years. Like my favorite softball player was hitting right in front of me. And it was like so weird. I think I got to the hotel and me and Sashel were staying together. I was like grateful crying. It was crazy. It was like such a weird like full circle moment. But then coming to AU, the year that I got drafted out of college, it was going to be her last year. And that year just like played out so beautifully. It was like after my grandma passed, our first game together was my grandma's heavenly birthday. Can you like believe that? That like how just God like situates stuff for us, like so special. And those games, she was my captain, and I have never been so like starstruck watching someone catch. Like I told her, I was like, I don't want to catch any of these games. Like, can you catch? I want to watch you catch. And actually her last game,
the 7th inning, I was able to switch with her, and they gave her like her standing O, and it was crazy. I couldn't even catch the ball because I was crying so much, but it was just awesome how everything played out, and like she kind of just passed the baton to me, gave me her number, and it's just been awesome, like the special treasures that we've been able to have because of this sport.
That's so epic. I feel like especially, I wasn't there playing with you, but I remember just kind of seeing it on social media, just being able to pass that over to you. I feel like it's just so sweet.
Right.
So glad that you guys had that. And I love that Sabian's just like along for the ride, and he's just like the best little brother and
the biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like he has sacrificed a lot of summers coming to come see us, but he loves it. He's so into it too. Like he'll talk about starting lineups that he thinks we should have. Like in spring training, he's already writing a diagram of who he wants, and he's like this and that, and he's really big on analytics. Like I feel like he can go to the MLB to like be an analytics guy, and he just loves like the sport. I think he's like just been into it so much. But yeah, he's like the best cheerleader.
Well, that support means everything too. I feel like that's just kind of like when things don't go your way, like an injury happens, when it's just like, of course you have your team, right? And like that family that you build with your team, but there's nothing like when you have that support from the people that you started playing with in the patch of grass, you know, that is like they've seen you here, they've watched you get all the way here, and they can be kind of like that reminder of the in-between of like, you know, this is my why, this is something to keep pushing me forward. And I'm just really, it's like full circle because I know that they're coming today.
Yeah.
Right. And I just get to see how they impact you like on the way here. Obviously we're best friends. So we're driving, we're talking, and you're just like, I can't wait to see them. You have no idea. And it warms my heart that you get to have that. So
yeah,
I can see how a positive impact that makes for you.
I know. And it's like you said, you have your teammates here, and like with injuries, with like just adversity that comes in the game, it's like so nice to have teammates. Like I've literally, when I lost my sister playing this game, I have you. Like the next year I got you, and like we've been as close as sisters, I feel like. But I feel like no one gets it other than your family and your teammates, right? Like no one's really in the fight with you other than them, and like they watch every game, so they know what's happening. I call them after every game. I call my sister and my dad before every game, so it's like they really know what's happening here, like in the games. So I feel like with your teammates and them, it's like such a good balance because your teammates will kind of get you where you need to be prior to game, but then your family is just like your safety net. Like when you go back home, you get to talk about it, and then as soon as you're like done talking about softball, they start talking, oh my gosh, Sabian did this, or Sophie was being like this at Target or whatever. Like it's just crazy stuff that you like get to like kind of unwind with them, and it's so nice. They've just been so supportive, like you said, and I used to think like I was playing for them, like I wanted to like make them proud and stuff like that, but they've made it so clear that they want me to live this out as long as I can to enjoy it. Like they've made it clear to me and my sister that we can play as long as we want, and they'll be there to support us. I mean, there's not a lot of parents that are going to be like, oh yeah, play softball all these years and don't get a real job. You know what I mean? Like I feel like our parents see the love that we have for this sport, and they just like want us to shine. Like, I mean, my dad's career got cut off pretty short, like from his baseball career, because he became a dad, and I feel like he doesn't ever want to cut us off from our career. So I feel like he also lives through us a little bit, but like he doesn't want us to feel like we had any regrets leaving the game.
Right. And I feel like a lot of times that has to do, I mean, I know a lot of parents ask the question of like pushing and when not to push and all that, and I feel like at least how you talk about your parents, I feel like they do a great job of letting you know that they're there, and you're obviously one of the most competitive people that I know. So what do you feel like the balance is like when you were growing up, where your parents are like pushing you but also allow you now? I mean, you're 26 years old, like you play free, you love the game, like you want to continue doing this, and now this is your real job because like the sport's growing. So how do you feel like your parents kind of like, you know, what advice maybe is a better question that you would give other parents that your parents have taught you?
Yeah, I think that's such a good question because each parent has their different like kind of connection with their kid. It also depends on the kid. It's like a dynamic of parent to kid. And I feel like we can kind of relate where we were like very self-motivated in a sense. So it was never that my dad had to push me to work. It was always him pushing me to take a risk, I feel like. It was always like, Dad, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could be a pro softball player. I don't know if I can make Team USA. I don't know if I should even try to do this and that. I feel like one of the biggest testaments was when I was in the transfer portal, like taking that big leap of faith. Like the transfer portal is a word that like, it's like just an ominous, like black hole that you like enter
Yeah.
and you're just like, wait, where am I? You know, like I don't even know where I'm gonna go. I don't know if anyone's gonna want to pick me up. That was like the delusion I had in my brain. I was like, I'm gonna enter this transfer portal and no one's gonna want to catch her.
Yeah.
No one's like, that was like the delusion. And I feel like my parents, they gave me that push. They're like, if you're not happy, go somewhere else. Like the funniest thing that my mom told me, she's like, Sharlize, you've loved this game since you were so little. You can't let a year of playing that was like rough and kind of hard to get through take the love away. Like you can find the love somewhere else. And that's exactly what happened to me when I transferred. I feel like I fell back in love with the sport, and like being surrounded by Coach Lisa that now you get to know so well, and like you just see how her brain works. Like she makes you find a different perspective for the sport, and like you just get in love with competing again. And I don't know if you've had like a situation like that too, that like you had to take a break from softball and then you come back and you're like, your eyes are just so fresh. But I feel like that push that my parents gave me was like the one that I needed. Like it was like when I was being doubtful, they had so much faith in me.
Right.
Like they knew what I was capable of. So I feel like that's kind of where parents have to figure out like that happy medium. Like I feel like the push to make them better should be there, but it should be more support in like the talent and skill aspect of like getting better. But I feel like the push of like showing them that you have their back, no matter if they take a risk, no matter if they change situation, change teams, whatever. I feel like that's the push that they need to give.
Yeah, 100%. Because I just feel like we talked about it before, like that core that you have, that excitement that you have to go talk to them after the game, right? Even at 26 on a pro level, comes from like those little pushes and that little, hey, like no matter what happens, I love you, like that support off the field mostly that I feel like makes it and is game changer in relationships with them, and then ongoing and growing that. So I think that's awesome. And you talked about it a little bit, and just because I can relate to it so much, is just kind of like finding your sparkle again.
Yeah.
It's just like whenever you go through a really hard year, what do you think it was for you that you found your sparkle?
I remember, and it's like sad to think because I am like such a hard worker. I come from parents that are hard workers. Both of them worked throughout their life. I mean, I have grandparents too that immigrated here, and like that's hard work to me is something that I take a lot of pride in. I never feel like I hate practice. Like I've always loved practice, especially with like teams that I've been on. I'm like so grateful for the teams I've been on because I love going to practice with my girls. Like I feel like no matter if you're like tired, like it's just fun to be there with them. And I just feel like one time I vividly remember waiting in my car when I was at my old school. I was just sitting in my car and I was like, I don't want to go to practice. I even called my sister and I was like, Sash, I don't want to walk in. And she was like, okay, that's out of character. What's going on? And so that feeling, that like gut feeling of like, I don't want to go, it was like, okay, we need to unpack that a little. What's going on? You know, because it's not the sport. We have to figure out what's going on. Like, I feel like I lost my sparkle for the sport. I feel like it became a lot about outcome, which it should never become, you know? And I kind of lost my why. I feel like you talk about that a lot, and that's something that keeps me really grounded at times. Like you'll always talk about your why and your purpose, and your purpose is so clear with what you do in your everyday actions. And I feel like I had lost that in that time. When I'm looking back now, I didn't know why I showed up to practice. I didn't know why I was playing college softball. Like I was very lost. And I think that the rest of that year after that, it was like a push and pull of like, I can do this. I can be strong. Let's finish it. Like I've never been a quitter. I don't want to quit something halfway. But I even remember, because we were in a semester system, my mom and dad were going to drive with me because I'm telling you, so supportive. They're not going to let me drive alone. And they knew how I was feeling about it. I had told them the day before, I was like, I don't want to go back to school. I'm like, you don't want to go back to school? Like their ears perked up. They're like, you have to finish school. Like we've made this promise. You can go play softball and you have to finish school. And I was like, it's not school. And then that's when they were like, oh, okay. So then we had like kind of a deep talk. I had 2 days left to enter the portal, and they were like, enter. Like you need to go back in. Like this, you need a change. You know, like you need something that excites you again. And I remember doing it and jumping in the portal, and literally I was at my computer, and talk about like the core family. they were all behind me when I was like entering it, and all of them were like looking, like Savia was even like, do you want me to press the button? Like we were all just like together. Sweet. And I remember getting my first call the 2 days after, and I was like, oh my God, you guys, I got a call. Like I can play college softball still. Like that delusion of I'm not going to get a team was like gone at that point. And I remember being at UCLA, and one of my practices that they kicked my butt. Like I have never had like a catching practice per se, and Coach I is a catcher. Yeah. She put me through the longest catching practice. I'm telling you, I think I blocked all the way down the foul line. Like
probably scared to death.
Yes, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like I got out, I called Seychelle naturally. Yes. And I was like, I had the most fun today. And that's when I got my sparkle back. I was like, I love practice. Like that killed me, but I loved it. Like every piece of it. I feel like I got better. I feel like I showed them what I had. Like I was able to push myself. It was fun. Like I was competing with my other catchers. Like that's when I got my sparkle back. And I feel like you can tell in the way I played. Like I played so freely. And I feel like once you get it back, I don't know if you can like relate to that, but like you don't want to let it go. Like after that moment, you're just like running with it, and you like see how grateful you are to play the sport, you know?
Yeah. And it's like such an unstoppable feeling. I feel like whenever it's not about outcomes, and it's just like literally just finding your sparkle of like why you love to play or why you love to practice. It's not even about playing in a stadium full of people. It's just like I love the process of it. I love the process of practice, a hard practice, maybe even something new, because like that's a scary environment. Like just coming in, especially with all those feelings going on just recently in those years for you, and then a few days later you're at a new school basically, and it's like, oh my gosh, a different state, a different school, you're the new girl, and it's just like, hey, we're gonna run you through a hard practice, which is so interesting to me because I remember playing you when you were at your first school at Arizona at the World Series,
right?
And it's just not crazy because I've felt this way before, but it's like you look at somebody and you're like, you know what, they're so strong, they're so good, and they're like killing it. And it's like, well, internally, now that I know you, internally you're thinking like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is hard. Like, you don't feel the sparkle. Like, you're having all those feelings. So it's like, you never really know who's going through that. But everybody goes through it because I've felt it before, like post World Series and all this stuff. And I feel like for a lot of little girls that are listening or is going to see this, it's like people that you watch on TV, you know, struggle with a lot of the same things that you're going through. So I feel like it's finding that and putting yourself in a good environment.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's pretty much like the sum. It's not like there has to be something incredibly wrong with a location or whatever it is, but it's like what makes you really thrive, and being around people and being open, having awareness, like open your heart to new possibilities, because I feel like that's when you can really find like what makes you work.
Exactly.
Right, and who makes you work. Like I feel like we talked a little bit about Coach Lisa, obviously like the GOAT of softball. I mean, and to be honest, this isn't completely about me, but I'm just going to go on a little tangent of how awesome I think she is, just because, you know, people ask me all the time, like, your softball, like, who do you look up to? Who do you look up to? And obviously I do love Jenny Finch, and I do, but it's like I had never, you know, I'm from the East Coast, like Coach Lisa's West Coast, like UCLA, and obviously I've been paying attention, but it's like now knowing her as a person, I'm like, I want half the heart that you have.
Yes.
And the way that you just are so passionate and competitive and giving. It's like, I can see that rub off on at least the Bruins that I know, right? That it's so cool to see like how coaches can impact on such a deeper level. It's like, yeah, of course, like we want to win. National championships are great, you know, all the travel championships, state championship, all the things. But it's like, we would say it all the time at school. It's like one team wins the big trophy. One team's holding it up. So what does everybody else have if you don't get it? Is that year a bust? And it's like, well, no. You know, you work from fall all year long, basically. And it's like, this is not a losing year if we don't get to hold that trophy. So what do you get? And it's people like Coach Lisa, and I'll have you talk about a couple other coaches that's probably made a really big difference for you. But it's the people that like love and lead with love. I feel like that make the biggest difference. And I can feel and see that in you, so that's exciting.
And I like getting to know Murph when we went to go play. Like you and him are like besties. I love that. Like something about having a good relationship with your college coaches, like they last with you forever. Like Murph went to your wedding. Like I'm gonna invite Coach I, Coach Lisa, Coach Kirk. They're gonna all be at my wedding, and they're gonna be on that dance floor. Like they're gonna be
absolutely.
there. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be there. And something about that connection, like it's so much deeper than just the game. And like exactly what you said, I feel like people don't get the impact of Coach Lisa. Everyone wants her signature. Everyone wants to see that she was in the Olympics these years, whatever. And like we even looked up her stats when we were coming here yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Literally. And we were, I think Montana was reading it, and she's like, 2 triples and a home run in like the gold medal game. Like what is going on?
And there's 5 games in the Olympics, right? And she started 4 of them, 4 complete games, 0 earned runs. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes so much. And then in her at bats, I think there was 22 at bats and she had 12 hits.
Yeah, so it's
she was
batting
like
500.
Like,
not a big deal.
Like literally, I was like, that's like, I don't know why I'm surprised. Like I'm not surprised actually, but like everyone looks at Coach Lisa for what she's done, but the impact that she has on her players, like Coach Lisa's the reason that the Talons continue to come back every year hungry and like happy to play. I feel like when you see us play, it's kind of like a mirrored effect of what Coach Lisa gives to us. Like we play this game and like win or lose, she's in our team room giving us like a lesson or a message.
Nuggets.
And yes, nuggets. There you go. Like she's giving us things that like we can take for games beyond and like life beyond.
And that's like the biggest piece, because it's like, yes, I mean, obviously we all want to win the championship, and that goes for any level that you're playing, but it's like those life pieces that we're talking about that Murph's helped me with, obviously a ton, but it's like things that you find yourself always going back into your journal, or always, you know, like that's what you need to get your sparkle back. Like all those things, I feel like, especially for if you're younger, like years later, like I'm finally at the point now, I'm 26, and I mean, I graduated when I was 23, and I'm like, oh wait, that's what he meant when he said that.
Yes.
And like, that makes way more sense now.
Yes.
But I love that, because I feel like she's just the GOAT on and off the field.
Yeah, and like there's pieces that I know you get from Murph too, like core pieces that literally change our like mindset and our DNA. Like there's things that Murph, I'm sure, has taught you off the field. Like you always go up to the field crew and you're like, thank you guys. Like I don't know if that started from you or Murph was like always handwrite notes. I remember you told me that you're like, Murph always hand wrote his notes, so I'm gonna handwrite notes. Our championship game, you got us a jacket and you had a handwritten note right there. Like that is something that's become a part of you, but you learned from Murph. Like, and I feel like there's so many things that Kirk, Coach Lisa have taught me that, oh my gosh, like this stuff goes a long way. I'm going to do that. Like Coach Lisa, every time I see her, I don't know when it started. I think it was a day in the fall. We had early morning practices and I went and gave her a hug. And you know me, I'm like physical touch on 10. Like I went and gave her a hug and she goes, why are you giving me a hug? And I was like,
sorry.
I like, literally, I was like in my brain, I was like, why'd I do that? Like, but I was like, I love hugs and like, I'm really happy to be here. And I think that change of perspective for her, every time I see her, we started off with a hug. Like ever since then, like I think before it was always just, hi Coach Lisa. But then I gave her a hug one practice early in the morning. And I think it like changed her perspective. Like, wow, like that's how she wants to show her appreciation for me to be here coaching her. And now whenever we see each other, it's always hug, hug, hug. And even when she showed up our first practice here, when she was here, she's like, remember to hug the people that you love. And like, that's going to transcend to people in our team, and she's going to just bleed into other people. Like that's the impact that Coach Lisa has, I think, to this sport. Like she just teaches people how to be good people and really good softball players, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like intentional with gratitude is like what I think of when we talk about all these people that have been impactful for us and where I feel like we are the happiest. And I can speak to both of us because obviously we're best friends, but it's like whenever we are intentionally thinking of the positives and thinking of the things we're grateful for or things that, you know, if we didn't have, we would miss. I feel like those things are like literally life-changing. So like when we're thinking about just saying thank you or hugging somebody or like going out of your way, or even if like that's uncomfortable for you, but it's like just internally or writing it down, like what are things that you are just grateful for?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be materials. It can just be for opportunities, people, whatever it is. But I feel like having that outlook changes you every single day. Like your day, if you start off with something positive in that way, it's like, I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like a lot of people ask like, how do you get your sparkle back? Or how do you come back from an injury? Or, you know, maybe you're not playing. Like, okay, a great example is if you're on a winning team, winning or losing, honestly, doesn't matter, but you're sitting the bench. Like, right, I'm going to work hard because, like, I want to be out there, but, like, how grateful am I to even be on this team?
Yeah.
Like, or how grateful am I that I have the opportunity to learn from somebody that's doing so great? Like, your perspective and that intentional gratitude, I think, is game changer.
Yeah.
And something that I see work so well in you because, like, circumstances aren't always great. Like, injuries happen, right? And we don't need to go into detail so much with that, but it's like, what would you say, especially with somebody that's in a position of, like, it's hard. Like, you are getting beat up back here. And a lot of times it's from me, and I'm sorry about that. But it's like, what would you say to people that are maybe, like, going through it physically? And I know that to each their own, but it's like, what helps you just kind of stay at that level of competitiveness and, like, really turn it on when you need to, where it's like, you know what, I'm going to be safe and careful, right, long term, but it's like, I'm about ready to compete here and take care of my body.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm kind of living through it right now. Like, right now, I'm battling through an injury. And like you said, I'm on a winning team. My team is literally amazing. I mean, it's so awesome to see you guys play. But, like, having that role on the bench, like, I'm going to start there. Like, having that role on the bench, obviously, I want to be out there making plays. I want to catch you. Like, obviously, FOMO, I have, like, some of the GOATs that are pitching on my team. Like, our staff, our 5 are, like, insane. When you look at the names, you're like, damn! Like, I sound like Coach Lisa, but like, that literally, the names of our pitchers, I don't want to hit off of you guys. Like, I'm glad I'm your guys' catcher. Like, I do not want to hit off you guys, but I get FOMO. Like, obviously, like, I'm like, I want to, like, catch them. I want to be there. Like, but I've gotten a role of, like, calling the pitches from the dugout, and it's such a shift in perspective because you really see the circle that you make, how when you're down, they pick you up. Like, I know this is going to sound like a love fest. Like, we're obviously best friends, but, like, I do have to give you your flowers because every single day, and I think I've told you, every day that you ask me, you're like, how are you feeling today? How's it going? Like, you're checking on me. And I was like, you know what, Montana, thanks for doing that. And you're always like, of course, like, you don't even have to say thanks. Like, but that check-in, like, it reminds me of the people that I surround myself with, that I'm surrounding myself with people that care about me, not my performance back there. Like, you could very well be like, you know what, I like the way she catches and calls for me, so I'm gonna keep her around. But, like, you care for Sharlize off the field. You care for your friend. You care for, like, I just feel like your sister. Like, and you're checking on me even when I'm not back there, like, doing work for you. You know what I mean? So to me, I've learned that my gratitudes lately have been with the people that I'm surrounded by. Like, not only do I have really good softball players on my team, but I have people that, like, genuinely really care for me. And that's, like, Coach Lisa in that too. She's like, ask me every day, how you doing? How you doing? You know, like, but so that piece of it I think is so important. But also, like, getting to that point, I feel like now coming back, getting to that point of being careful, taking care of our body, but also being competitive, I feel like I almost sometimes forget. Like, I feel like you are, like, a testament to this. Like, we kind of just, like, black out and we just go all out. I don't know how to go 75, 80%. Like, it's just not in me. You. Like, I'm going to go 100 and, like, even sometimes 105. And it's like, girl, take it easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I just feel like as a catcher, you're just, like, a tick crazy. Like, you're just
gotta be a little bit crazy.
You're, like,
a little bit crazy.
There's, like, something loose in your dome if you're, like, a catcher, you know? Even pitchers, like, you guys really have a hard shake. Like, I think that's why we get along so well, and, like, the battery's so important. I feel like we need to touch on that. Like, the battery aspect and, like, the synergy that a pitcher and a catcher have is, like, insane because they don't know what's going on, the game within the game. Like, they don't know that battle between the circle and behind the plate to that box, you know? Like,
let's talk about that because I feel like, I love that you say that, and I feel it. And we don't talk about it so much. That's why I'm, like, a little bit excited to talk about it because I'm like, wait a minute, I feel that too. Wait, we were talking about it yesterday. It's like whenever you have a dog and you, like, say their favorite words, it's like, oh, do you want to go for a walk, get a treat, go to a grandma's or whatever. She said something like, we're going to come here and talk, and then we're after this. It's like, you want to go get coffee? You want to go shopping? And then go get sushi.
You, like, hear all your happy trigger words?
That's us, right? But I love that. I want to hear your take on it first. So, like, the game within the battery.
Yes. So, something about a battery, it's different with every pitcher and catcher. Like, I have multiple batteries with my pitchers. We have five pitchers on this squad. It's a different vibe for every pitcher. And it's, like, so funny because I feel like as a catcher, you're there to pick up what they need. So, like, for you, for instance, I don't really need to tell you what to throw. You know what you want to throw. But it's like so funny because I don't really have this with any other pitchers, but it's like hive mind. Like our minds like kind of mush into one, and it's like we're working, like our brains came together. Like, and it's just having that mindset. And I think with us, when I'm catching you, I feel like it's so much of like, oh, so how are we going to get them out? We know we're going to get them out, but how are we going to do it? Like,
how are we going to choose to do it today?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much warrior mentality, so like locked in. It feels like we're at war, honestly. Like, it's so funny to see that.
We're in the foxhole.
Exactly.
That's what they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in the foxhole. Exactly. Yeah. Like, that is the perfect explanation. So, like, the battery aspect of that, it's good to know your people. If I were to tell any catcher any piece of advice to get to the next level, know your pitchers. Like, you need to know your pitchers. You need to know them more than they know themselves. You need to know their tendencies, what they like, what they don't like. In this situation, like, you need to know them. And I feel like
Can you give an example? Because I feel you're so right. I feel like people often ask me, and it's like, I can tell you to love your like, as a pitcher, you love your catcher, right? And like, I'll touch on this when she's done answering this question, but it's like, how do you do that with so many different personalities? Like, and you can use me as an example, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Yeah. So like, you can tell all the things, but it's like, for me, different from the 5, pick out some things that's like, what are tendencies that I do, good and bad, or like ways that you can help me. And even if we weren't best friends too.
Yeah. So I feel like tendencies, starting with you, and like not giving out all our secrets.
Yeah, easy now.
But tendencies of like, you're a stubborn gal, and I love it out of you. But like, that's what makes Montana so great. She's stubborn in the fact that she knows, you can sit anyone down with your rise ball. But it's like, lately we've been playing around with everything that you do, and like, I feel like leverage counts. Talking about pressure on your pitchers, like where you want to put it, what you're seeing off of batters. I feel like you're so aware of the situation of the game. Even like, okay, let's say a rise ball could get someone out, but like, we want to get a ground ball here. We have one of the best defenses. I feel like you're so in tune with that you're like, okay, it can be a strikeout, but let's get this. Let's roll a double play here. Like, I feel like you're so hyper aware of that like those tendencies, a catcher that doesn't know you would just be like, okay, rise. And like, okay, yeah, cool. We could go for the strikeout, but like, let's do this instead. And I feel like that is something that you and I get very well. Like, we see the game outside of the game. Like, even though you're so tunnel locked in, I feel like you are like evolving to just become the best you. And that's something that I get to be along for the ride for. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool to see you do that. And like, there's some people that are just going to be like, you know what? I'm really good at this. And I know you say, you're like, I don't want these young pitchers to have too many pitches. I want them to master these 2 pitches. I feel like you've become a master at what you know, but you're getting so good at like developing the things that you want to be better at. Like, and that's tendencies that I learned from you. Like, you will do that in a game. You'll be like, you know what? I want to do this here. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's not be stuck in a box, you know,
right.
Let's do something out of the box. So that's a tendency I feel like from you. I feel like also we don't get so caught up in the who is the batter type thing.
Right.
You know, like, that's something that like certain pitchers will be like, this batter has done this on me. I feel like if someone's hit a home run, it doesn't happen often, but if someone's done damage on a ball, you're like, okay, so what are we going to do here? Like, I feel like we never really get caught up in who's the box. It's like literally so much focus here, and the batter's like an afterthought.
Well, because it's really, and you know, you're a hitter and you can talk on this, but it's like hitting so hard. And whenever, like, okay, somebody hits a home run, I mean, most of the time it's just a missed pitch. So they didn't hit my best pitch.
Yeah.
But let's just say it's a good pitch and they get like a single or a double. I feel like oftentimes people aren't hitting laser home runs on your best pitch, right? So then it's like you just tip your cap and you're like, okay, maybe I could spin it a little bit more. You know, like, you dissect and then you move on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, okay, get better here, move on. But I think that is the game within the game that you're talking about. But I feel like one piece too that as you're talking, I want to make sure that I covered that we are very close.
Yes.
But I don't want people to lose the fact that it's not always like love, sunshine, and rainbows.
Yes.
And the biggest piece with this is trust. Like, I have full trust that you are doing things in my best interest,
Yes.
our best interest, but still mine when it comes to like pitching.
Yes.
Like things that you see, holding me accountable.
There's no sugarcoating.
There's no sugarcoating. Like if we're coming off the field and it's like, and you know, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, like she just hit it. Like what, it's not a big, like move on. No, Montana, you plated it. Like it's just like, it was a bad pitch. It was fat. Like you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Or you can go out of this box a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's another reason that like I love, and I know a lot of younger kids don't call their own games, but I feel like you still have to be convicted in what you're throwing.
Exactly.
And it's like having that mesh brain that you were talking about earlier. I feel like having that trust for each other. So I also know that if I said, hey, I need you to stick it a little bit longer, hold it a second longer for the umpire, and I bet you he's going to call it.
Yeah.
I could say that to you, although that's not the case because you're like the best or whatever. Yeah. But it's like I could say that to you and you'd be like, okay, yeah.
Got you.
But so many different situations like that people don't get to see within the game that happens in the dugout or with no words being said at all. And this is only our second year together.
Yes.
So I feel like you can accomplish that closeness and you don't have to be best friends.
Exactly.
It's just respect, I think.
Respect for each other's craft and respect for what they bring to the table. Like I feel like you've always told me like, Shar, you're such a game changer. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Like Tana, I appreciate that. I want you to talk about the foxhole. Like I feel like that altered my brain chemistry when you told me that. And we touched on it a little bit, but like that's that trust aspect. That's like full blown, that's what we have. That's like the battery. So like I feel like the foxhole is something that people can really like resonate with. And like when we talk about that war, that battle, that like, you know, internal thing within the game, I feel like that is kind of what sums it up. So like I want to hear you say it again because I love it. Yeah.
And I think, and I'm going to keep saying this because so many catchers and pitchers, they'll ask me like, what if you're not best friends with the other one? You don't have to be. So like I'm saying this knowing that we are best friends, but like it would the result would be the same if we weren't.
Yeah, like we're just splitting outside of the field.
Yes.
So on the field.
Like this, I'm not talking about outside the field. So on the field in the foxhole is basically when we're in war, right? And you're in the foxhole and you're like hiding basically from enemy lines, like fire, like it's going on above ground. It's going on, and who are you choosing to be down there with?
And it's like a small
in
little
the war,
hole,
and
right?
It's a whole, you're in close quarters here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who are you going to war with, basically, and who are you spending that time with? Who would you who are you dying for, kind of situation? And for me, it is you because it's like the competitiveness, the accountability. Like you want to be around people that. Not just to make you better, but it's like that honesty, that trust, that I'm laying it all out there.
Yeah.
Like people want to play with people like that, where it's like, no, I'm not saying we're going to go dig a hole and go lay in it for a couple hours. Yeah. I'm just saying like when things get hard, who's not going to run to the end of the dugout because they didn't do what they wanted to do?
Yeah.
Or it's like, I know that if I didn't pitch my best game, the first thing you're going to do is like, let's figure this out. Yeah. Not, oh, you need to go figure it out. It's let's figure this out. Let's execute, like, how can I be there for you?
Yeah.
It's a lot of servant leadership, a lot of sacrifice, egoless. Like, it's just, how can I be there for you? And let's do it together.
Yeah.
In the midst of all the storms.
Yeah. I feel like that's something catchers need to know about their pitchers. Like, you need to know communication styles, one. Like, personalities and communication styles. I'll speak on you because we're here, but, like, you want an honest friend, and I feel like an honest friend is a friend that loves you because they're not going to be like, oh yeah, like I think this but you really don't think that. Like you want someone that's going to be like straight to the point, direct communication, and I feel like that's how you get the most efficiency. Like correct? I believe that as well. So it's like when you're talking about, okay, what can we do here, what can we do better, we're talking about bad games, but even good games, it's like, okay, what did we do here that was successful? Boom, boom, boom. We're so direct and we communicate so well that you can continue the success. You know what I mean? And when things go bad, it's like, well, it's because this went bad. And it's like that total like solution based. What are we going to do next? Like you dissect for a second and then you get better. And so I feel like that is something that's big for catchers. Like catchers need to learn how to be able to know how to speak to your pitcher. There's different pitchers. There's some pitchers that want to feel like everything's good. I feel like you'll go out on the mound not feeling the best and you'll still throw a really good game. you may not grade it the best, but like you're going to go out there and compete. There's some pitchers that at times they need to always feel good, and you need to know that. It's not that one pitcher is better than the other. It's just how they want to show up.
How you're wired.
How you're wired, exactly. So it's like, as a catcher, you need to know that. If your pitcher is one that wants brutal honesty and you're sugarcoating it, they'll read that. Like, they can sniff that out. Like, you're going to be like, okay, I know that wasn't a good pitch because I saw it and you're telling me it's a good pitch. Now I don't trust you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that you need to, like, just learn your pitcher. Like, and if you're being too brutally honest, let's say it's a bullpen that it's a feel good and your catcher's over here like, you need to do this, da-da-da-da. It's like, girl, what are you doing back there? Like, let me have a feel good. Like, you know, I just feel like that awareness, like, catchers need to know your pitchers. That's what I mean with knowing your pitcher. You need to, like, have a feel of, like, what they're trying to get done, where they want to go, and, like, how they need to be communicated with. Because if I came to you and communicated to you a certain way that I would communicate to a different pitcher, it probably wouldn't work. Right. You know, and we wouldn't build that strong connection. But because I read you and I was like, okay, she likes direct, she likes honesty, she likes this, she likes solutions. Like, I'm not going to be here being like, well, what if, Tana? No, we're going to go for what we want, you know, and no doubts.
Yeah, so lots of communication and just honesty and then asking. I feel like and then that's the pitcher's job to do truthful in all of those things, is answer and give as much information as you can and what you like. And I feel like, you know, pitcher's princess kind of deal. Like, pitchers should be the hardest working person on the field. You should serve everybody else. But like, when it comes to like what you like, that's not a princess. That's just like, I know what's going to make me the most successful for me to be. And I want to be that for the team. And this is how I'm going to communicate it to my battery so that way she can help me and we can do it together. It's not like, oh, I have to have this, like, or else I'm not going to do it. No, it's like, we're going to figure this out, but I know that this is what works. And you can do that from any age. I feel like I wish I would have done this when I was younger, but especially when things aren't really going like how you want them to go. And I want you to touch on that a little bit because you do such a good job, obviously as a competitor, but whether you're catching or you're hitting and you don't have your A game, what do you think it is for you that you're able to turn it up a little bit? And I'm not saying you have to go 3 for 3, but like you still get things done, you find the hole, you're still a brick wall back there. Like, what is it for you when it's not your A+ game that still makes you successful? And I think that's such a good question because people look at your stats and they're like, oh, she had a good year, or oh no, she did. I feel like when I look back at my years, I think of like my mindset. How did I prepare myself mentally? Because that's kind of what changes the outcome of your year. Like, if you feel ready and prepared, that's half the battle. You know what I mean? So I feel like we talked about this early in the year. Like, ready is a mindset, and that's something that I am continuously working on. Like, I'm still young in the sport per se. Like, I feel like I still have so much more to evolve, but that's something that I want to master within the next 2 years before the Olympic year. Like, I want to know that ready is a mindset. Like, ready is not a feeling. Ready is not, oh, I felt so good in BP today, I hit 10 homers, I'm ready to go. Because it's not going to be like that every game. Right. You know, like, not every game am I going to have my best called game behind the plate. I'm not going to have the best blocked game. I'm not going to feel the best. It's going to be like, we can talk about our season. I could be 30 games in on my knees, and it's like, yeah, you're not going to feel the best, but are you ready to compete? Like, mental switch, are you ready to compete? And I feel like that is something that you have to master every day, because some days it's harder than others. Like, some days you wake up feeling like, we just had an off day, I had coffee with Tana, we went shopping, like, I'm ready. Like, I had my fillers, you know? But I feel like readiness is something that you have to just tell yourself that the work that you've put in behind has already prepared you for that moment. I think when I went to go play in the Mexican League, it was something that altered my brain chemistry without really knowing. You don't really get warm-ups over there. Like, your warm-up is like, kind of swing your bat, you kind of do a little twisty and you're ready to go. Like, you know, it's like some days you'll have BP, some days you'll just show and go. And I was like such a hater on show and goes. Hater. I hated it. I was like, I want to feel good before a game. And these girls are like, why do you need to hit BP? Your swing's already there. You know how to hit a ball. Your eyes know where to put your bat. And I was like, wow, these girls are teaching me some you're
stuff.
Like, wait a minute, that's
I
a good
like
nugget.
that.
I like that.
I loved that. So like, from here on out, I've like realized some of my best games are on shows and goes, because I'm not over here like over analyzing my swing before a game. I'm not getting cues. I'm not doing this. I'm just standing up there and doing what I know. You know, like, it's so funny how our body is so fine-tuned and knows what to do, that you just need to trust it. I feel like with pitching too, like sometimes you give yourself a cue of like, oh, I want to spin it like this, or I want to get under like this, or I want to land like this. Sometimes you just got to let your body do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it knows what to do. Like,
because
it's been
you
trained.
practice. I feel like so often too, like, and I want to ask you when you started, you know, really feeling that way and feeling that change. But I think for me, it's been recently where it's like, you know, like, this is what I work for.
Yeah.
So people ask, how do you play free? I practice really hard. Like, and not necessarily like quantity. I'm a definitely quality over quantity person, and I will spend time doing what I know I need to do to get better. So like this off season, it was like, I know that this is what I want. This is what I want it to look like. All the things, this is what I want it to feel like. So that way I don't have to spend an hour warming up to feel good before, because I'm not always going to, but it's like I've trained my body, right? Like, I'm ready as a mindset, and it's like that feeling of like, I just need to make sure I'm loose and I'm not going out there not stretching, but it's like, I don't need to have it all figured out before I go play, because that's what I practice for.
Yes.
The practices aren't just wasted, especially if you're being intentional with what you're practicing on, right? I feel like you can just kind of go out there and like let that work for you.
Yes.
You don't have to stress, like you're talking about the warm-ups. I feel like that's so special, because I know that not everybody feels that way or thinks that way, but it's just like, why do we don't need to do too much for the game. That's not going to get us ready. It's in the off season, in the winter, like, what are you doing to get ready for the game? That is what you're going to see on the field.
Yes.
Not what you did in the bullpen or in the cages the day of.
Exactly. And I feel like it's because our frontal lobes may have already developed.
Maybe so.
I feel like it took us this dang long.
I know, I was like, it was last week when I thought about this. I was like, dang,
actually,
girl.
this was like a recent thought.
Yeah,
but
no, this was last week right over there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, literally. Like, this is something that, like, at my age, like, we're laughing about it because it's like, well, it only took us this long.
Trust me, we're still working on it now.
Yeah, like, we're
working.
still, like, what a beautiful thing to say, we're still evolving athletes. Like, I love that. Like, I'm still getting better at what I'm doing. I could go 3 for 3 in a game, hit all the home runs, and like, hitting still gonna humble me. Pitch calling still gonna humble me.
Yeah.
Like, a ball in the dirt from Montana Fouts will still humble me, you know, like
off the shoulder.
Yeah, like literally like a little shoulder shot, but like it, like, we're still evolving athletes, and like I feel like that I learned it from the Mexican League. Like, I can come to a game like, just, you know, knowing that my swing is prepared, and like all that preparation comes in the off season. Like, we're in such a special time that, like, if you don't play in other leagues, you're training for 9 months, you know? You go to USA camps here and there and stuff like that, but like, you're training for 9 months for a 3-month season, you know? And that's, to me, more than enough of things like you said, your practices are intense, not in the quantity, but like in what you're trying to do there, you know? Like, I have seen your bullpens. I know that they're intense. They're like very crisp, very like, okay, we're going to work on this. This is what I want to do. And that's how all practices, I feel like, should be. Like, our practices should be harder than the game, always.
Yeah.
And I feel like that readiness aspect of it is like, okay, how am I going to show up today? Like, am I ready in the sense of like, I feel good, or am I ready in the sense of like, I'm ready to compete? I don't care how my swing looks in the cage. I don't care how my swing looked yesterday. I don't care how my swing looked off of that same dang pitcher. I'm going to be ready in that box for my moment. You know what I mean? I feel like that is the part that's so, like, incremental to your success on the field. You know, like, that is something that will change how you show up every day, you know? And it's still a work in progress. Like, there's going to be some days that you're like, dang, I really don't feel it today, but you have to really dig it out of yourself. And I feel like, we're just learning that every single day. It's like, okay, how am I going to show up today? I feel like when you walk between those doors, I feel like that's when you choose if you win or lose, you know? That's when you choose if you're going to have success or not. It's like, how do you show up for yourself, for your athlete, I know that I've put in the work behind closed doors. So now here, you just get to have fun and play free, you know?
Yeah, I think that's awesome too, because I feel like a lot of times, like, our game is so fast, from levels 7 to 30 some years old, like, it keeps getting faster. So it's like, what happens in that mindset that it's like, okay, I don't feel great, right? It's easy to do when you feel great.
Yeah.
But it's like, when I don't feel great, how do I compete? And I feel like a lot of times it's slowing it down. We talk about like the battery game within the game, but I also feel like, for me, and maybe this is like a hidden thing for me that I've not shared ever, but it's like, when things are feeling a little fast, or maybe I'm a little tired, is probably the best example, where it's like, my body is feeling some type of way, like I'm ready and I want to compete, but like I'm feeling some type of way. And it's a lot of mental whenever it's just like, you know, we're playing a 2-hour game and I need to stay locked in. It's like you separate the game a little bit. It's like the first inning, it's like the game within the game. The first batter is its own game. Second batter is its own game. Third is its own game. Each at bat is its own game. Each play is its own game. It's like, how can I execute? Because we're not going to win every game, but it's like being able to move on so quickly, because even when you're having your good game or your bad game, whatever it is, a C day, and it's like, you know, you're getting it done, but it doesn't feel great. How can I give 100% to each individual game, and then in the dugout be able to like just kind of wash and reset? So what do you feel like your reset is on when you're trying to slow it down?
Yeah, I feel like catchers, we kind of have to have a split brain. We have to have the catcher defense brain, and that's where I want like so many catchers now, like call your own games. Like I want catchers to call their own games. Like it is so fun to be able to like have this little like sequence and this little formula that you have in your brain to get a batter out. I feel like that's so special, but like you also get so engaged. You're like in the game, you know what you want, like that's conviction. So like that's one side of the brain. Then you get into the dugout, you're talking to your pitcher, okay, this adjustment, and then you flip your brain and you're ready to hit. Like that is like such a quality that like I feel like maybe catchers don't know, but like you have to have it, because all the other people on the field, a ball may not come to them the entire inning. I mean, there was one inning you did it all by yourself. So like no one was even playing behind you. They didn't have to come out, you know? Like so they have that time to be able to like process at bats. Think about it. It has to be like a mental flip like that. So my personal one, when I'm in there, I give myself 2 batters. So like before I even get on the on deck circle, if I'm about to bat, I'll be like, you know what, Montana, I'm going to come back to you with what we need to work on, but I need to lock in here.
Right.
And it's like that mental focus of like switching from being servant leader to then when you're in the box, you can't be anyone but yourself. You have to bleed into yourself. So that's the point where you start kind of thinking, my cues are always like, be you, you're ready. Like things that are talking me up, things that I would probably tell you, you know what I mean? That it like the spotlight comes to you for your at bat, and then you go back to being like, okay, Montana, this is what kind of we're working on. So I feel like that shift, you have to remember the why of like coming back to like the things you've taught me. You have to remember your why. So like when you're in the box, why are you there? You know what? I'm a good competitor. I'm a hard out, and I'm ready for any pitch. Like that's what's going to get something going for your team. You know what I mean? So I feel like those positive affirmations that I give myself are my switch. Then once I get back into catcher brain, I'm like, okay, how did this happen last inning? What are we doing? Like, how do we manipulate this inning? You know, how do we do this? So I feel like that's kind of my like little switch. I know that I go from catcher brain to hitter brain, catcher brain to hitter brain. You know, I do it every single time that I'm going up to bat and then coming back out to play. But I feel like that's kind of my like mental cue is like, okay, what do I need to do here for Montana? Okay, now it's my turn. I have to kind of lock in for me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like you do such a good job of that too. I feel like because you're so competitive, I guess my next question would just kind of be like, what happens when things don't go your way? Like, what are you telling yourself after you're, like, let's just say you're 0 for 15, right? Like, that's heavy, and that feels like a lot, especially whenever, you know, like, this is something that you love to do. This is what you train for. And, like, let's just say it's, like, catching's going halfway. You're like, oh my gosh, I've trained for this, and it's like I feel like I'm not catching the best that I could, calling the best game, and I'm not even producing at the plate either. Like what happens in your brain? What do you tell yourself when you're in the box, and how do you talk to yourself to get out of that? Maybe like things that you used to do and things that you do now.
I would say when things are going like that, softball players were crazy. The more that you don't have success, the more you want it. Am I right? Like when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so deep in this hole, I can't get out of it, I want it so bad, you start kind of changing up what you're doing. And like I have to remember, still to this day, I'm telling you, evolving athlete, you still have to remember that, you know, like even though you want it so badly, like my dad can tell, he's like, you want to get a hit so bad, just let it happen. I have to like let the game give me what it wants to give me. Softball's so weird, you guys. It has a mind of its own. There's softball gods, and it plays with you, and it'll give you something sometimes when you treat the game well. And even when you're treating the game well, it still won't give you, you know, like that's just how the game is. It's like, it's such a special game that is played within innings, and it's not in a time constraint that like anything can happen, you know, like it could be anyone's day. It could be someone's worst day. Like it ebbs and flows so much, this game. So I feel like in that aspect, what I've been trying to learn and get out of is like, oh, the less I have success, the more I want to do, the more I want to do, the more I want to get it done. No. Take a chill pill, Shar. Like, now you're just going to let the game happen. Like, I feel like in that sense, it's like you have to kind of like take yourself out of your body and look, okay, right now you're not getting hit. Why is that? Is it because what you're saying when you go up? Is it because of a mechanical thing? It's never mechanical. I will tell you that. Like, the way that we train, I feel like that we prepare ourselves, and like even younger kids, like I see them practicing every single day on weekends with their travel ball teams. Like, they are mechanically sound. It's never an adjustment of the, like, once
especially in game.
Exactly. It's never an adjustment of your body or a mechanic. Like, that is something that I want everyone to know. You don't need to change your hands from here to here in a game. That's like, you just need to change your mindset or change your plan or change like the intent behind it, you know? So I feel like that's the part that I try to shift is like, okay, what am I going to do here? How am I going to be intentful with this at bat? So let's say it's an 0 for 15, knock on wood, please. No, don't give me that. But like, no, I don't want it. But like, let's say that's where we're at. 0 for 15, loosen up. Don't hold the bat so hard. Don't be like, this is the only way I'm going to get on. No, loosen it up and make it as simple as possible. That would be what I'm telling myself up there. Like, you know what? You can think what you want about your body. See ball, hit ball. Keep it back to the basics. I feel like going back to that, our body already knows what to do. So it's going to react the way, in that split time, it's going to react the way it wants to react. So you just have to put yourself in the position to let yourself, not hold yourself back. You know what I mean? And I feel like hitters kind of get that. Like, sometimes we hold ourselves back, even just with being tense and being like, oh my gosh, what is she going to go? Am I looking for this? Am I doing this? Like, no.
No overthinking.
No overthinking. Just like mind off, body on. Let your body do what it's supposed to do. And I feel like that's something that I'm still learning to this day, like we say, but I just think that you have to alter, like, instead of doing more in order to get success, do less.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like a lot of times it's like just taking yourself back to like when you were younger playing softball.
Yes.
So I want to touch on that a little bit too. Just like talk me through young Sharlize, you growing up in California. Like, we talk about all of these things that we've learned like throughout the years, but I want to start from like the basic of like young Sharlize.
Yes. I have a literal video. I could like send it so we could show it. I have this big old pink helmet, of course pink.
Of
like,
course.
We are very similar off the field too. Like, I feel like we were like created in the same lab, you know, like we were just like, we're the same person off the field. That I had a pink little helmet. I always wanted to be a diva. I wanted to look so cute. I wanted all my things to match. Like, how privileged was I? Like,
exactly.
I was like, I just want to look the cutest. Like, I wanted the spray paint helmet, everything. God bless my parents, honestly.
Yes.
Like, our parents.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, they
Divas.
just did the most for us to like feel good, be happy, get what we want. But I have this big old pink helmet. My body was like, I look tiny. Like, I look like a minifigure. I'm so small. And I have my bat. And I look at the way I swing, and it's so simple. Like, it's like, and it's a little, like, aluminum bat. So the sound of the bat is like, you guys, it's so cute. Like, I have to send the video. Sometimes when I'm, like, being too hard on myself, that we always do, I look at that video, and I'm like, look at how wholesome that little baby is. That little baby is me. Like, I have to remember that little baby is still standing in that box right now with her pink helmet, you know? And it's so cute because I hear my siblings in the back. Sabian, in one video when I was a little older, he loves popcorn. He was like eating popcorn. You hear, it would be your worst nightmare. Yeah, it would be your worst nightmare. He was like, you hear the crunching, and he's like, he would get like a little handful. His hands are so small. He'd get a little handful and be like, you could do this, Sharlize. You've got this, Sharlize. Like, in every video, I hear my siblings in the back like cheering me on, or my mom's like, run, Sharlize, go. Like, it was so cute. But those videos, it was like the simplicity that I knew where to hit the ball, and who cares where it went. It was like, I think it went like 2 feet. It was like,
you're running as fast as you
and
could.
I was just like, and diva again, I was like, looking
sure
at my shadow how I
like,
ran. I was like looking so cute, and just made it to first base. I think I did like a little hop, and like, just, that is what you play for. You
and having
play
fun.
For that. Exactly. Like, I did not care what was happening. I wanted to get up to bat because that was the funnest part of the game.
And you love it.
Exactly. Like, I loved it. So when I was my senior year, I would watch that little video and like literally tell Sashal, I'm just going to bink the ball. That sound that it would make, dink. I'm like, dink. So when I was up to bat, I would just think, hit the ball, just dink, just think it. Like, and it was so simple. Like, I don't even think I would like think about swinging my senior year. I was just like tapping it and the ball would fly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how privileged am I? I'm so buff and like I could just touch it and it'll go. But like that's what like made me like work in that time. It was like, oh my God, I was just thinking about being little me, just like tapping the ball, like boom. Like my body's already, I've trained it enough to like hit it where it needs to be, just like dink.
And I love that because it's like you're thinking of your younger self, and it's like not like playing for her, but it's like she's having so much fun, she's loving it. That's still me. So not only am I going to love the game like she loves the game, but I'm also going to talk to myself like how I would talk to her.
Exactly.
Like if I'm on the mound, right, and I'm picturing Montana with a little plastic face mask and pink socks, like I'm not going to be like, oh, you stink, like you don't deserve to be out here, you don't, and like, chill girl, that is who you're talking to.
Exactly.
So like how you talk to yourself, like you got to remember that that's who you're talking to, is the one with the pink helmet and the plastic face mask.
Yes.
Like, just like, let's take a step back and think about life when it was really simple when you're playing, because it's like, it's still the same love. The game's still the same, like, right? Like the bases might be a little bit further, the mound or whatever, but it's like, it is still the same game.
Exactly.
And we can make it as simple or as hard as you want to. And I feel like one of the biggest things that I never want to be confused about, and I feel like you feel like the same way, but it's like, I am definitely a believer in, it's like, softball is just what I do, it's not who I am. But that does not mean that you aren't competitive and that you want it and you want to win and you want to be the best. Like, you can still do those things, but then make it simple and like realize why you love it.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when it gets complicated is whenever you're like, you say like this, no, like my identity is in this.
Yes.
Or it's like, I have to succeed to be happy. And it's like, well, now we're mixing too many things in here and you're not making it simple anymore. Now you're making it super complicated, and I can't play, you're not playing free, and I can't play when I'm not loving it.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's something that's so big, is like, yeah, like this is what we're doing, but you can be really good at it.
Yes,
like
exactly.
you work hard. Like I don't want that to ever be confused. It's like, absolutely, like softball is not who I am, just what I do, but I'm going to work. I work every day at it.
Yeah.
I care a lot about it. I care about the outcomes.
Yeah.
But my identity is not in the outcomes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's such a fine line of like separating who you are and what you do. Just because it's not who I am, it's what I do. I want to do it well.
And it's a lifestyle.
Exactly. Like it's like, I want to do what I do well.
Yeah.
I'm like, who I am is a good person, a good friend, a good sister, a good daughter. Like I put my faith in God. I'm like, those are my things that I am. That is who I am as a person. But I'm also competitive. That adds into what I do.
Right.
I'm also highly intelligent of like, okay, if I need to make this adjustment, I'll do that. That adds into me being good. You know, like I feel like those things, the kind of blueprint of who we are adds to what we do. And not that like what we do is going to bleed back into that. Like as a softball player, if I go 3 for 3, that doesn't make me a better person. Like that doesn't make me a better person off the field.
Right.
Me throwing a runner out isn't going to make me a person that is good to my family. Like me going 0 for 3 isn't going to make me a bad friend. You know, that doesn't mean that if I call a bad game, that doesn't mean that now I'm a horrible friend to you. You know, I feel like those characteristics don't carry on, but it's what makes us the athletes that we are. I feel like it bleeds into it, you know?
And it puts so much pressure, but it's like not the good kind of pressure. Like whenever you're tying in like who you are as a person and like how you treat people with your outcomes, there's so much pressure, even if you don't realize it, where it's like, I have to perform to be happy, or like we have to win this game, or like I need to pitch this certain way to be happy. Okay, when that doesn't happen, because that's just how the game is, like who are you when that doesn't happen?
Yes.
And it's like those two can't be intertwined, because now that's the kind of pressure that's not good.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the pressure with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. Like loving that kind of pressure and then loving the kind of pressure that I'm talking about are two different things.
Yes.
So it's like finding the balance between the two that I think is so important.
Yeah, and I feel like our pro league has kind of evolved in that. Like I can only speak for our team, but there's games that we lose and we don't like the way we finish our game, but that's not going to change the person that we are when we go out there and sign those little girls' balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the fine line. It's like, okay, my outcome happened, but that little girl was still super happy to see Montana Fouts and Sharlize play their game. You know what I mean? I love being next to you in the autograph line because we're some chatty Cathys. Like we're going to be out there how did you like it? How old are you? You're so cute. I feel like the little ones are always the ones that get me. Like, they'll get the chatter out of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how old are you, little missy? But like, we become ourselves, like who we are when we're out in that autograph line. You know what I mean? It's not, okay, 0 for 3, yes, the competitive side of me, what I do, I'm going to be pissed, but not when we take it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and you don't have to have the autograph line.
Yeah.
Like, not yet. Like, let's just say you're 12.
Yes.
And you don't have the autograph line yet. It's like, what is your autograph line? Like,
the
when
car
do
ride
you
home.
Yeah, when do you switch it off to where it's like, maybe it didn't go how I wanted it to go? How can I dissect, right? Like, learn from what happened. I'm not saying forget it and whatever. Like, let's get better. How do we get better as a softball player, right? You've got however minutes until my rule is, if I'm really mad, like, eat dinner because I get hangry.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, then forget about it. We're going to learn, come up with a plan, and move on.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they don't have an autograph line,
Yeah.
when for you was that growing up where it was like, this is my mode, move on?
Yeah, and that's something that, like, my lessons and my girls that I, like, know so well, they'll be like, that car ride after the game. Moms, dads, grandparents, anyone that takes your kids, that car ride has to be full of support and full of love. Like, that is your job. Players, that car ride cannot be a punching bag for your parents. Like, agree or disagree? I feel like that's something that, like...
Agree. And I feel like that goes both ways. It's just like, let's have a standard of, like, leaving it at the field.
Yes.
And like, get it out. Do not leave. Like, if you need to get in the car, it stays at the field. Like, if you need to take it out, like, take it out, like, never at somebody else, but it's like, vent, do your thing. Like, be who you are. I'm not saying change who you are, but be who you are, get it out, but then there needs to be a point of move on.
Yes, exactly.
And from both sides.
Yeah.
I think that that's a biggest thing, and something that I feel like is game changer with, like, as you are moving on and growing up and continue and play the game, because, like, that never changes.
Yes.
There's always a car ride. Like, we have them when we leave here.
Yeah.
Like, it just depends on, like, how quickly you can get over it, or how quickly you can let it soak in and then be looking forward towards the next game if it's something positive.
Yeah, and I feel like that is something, like, yes, we have an autograph line, we have a locker room. Like, I want to leave my stuff in the locker room. Like, leave the game there. If you weren't happy with it, boom. As soon as you walk out, it's like, the kids are there, your family could possibly be there. Like, you have to show up for them. But, like, that car ride, is it when you roll out of the parking lot? That's it. Like, you sit in the car, you talk about it, whatever. As soon as you roll out, is that when it is? Like, you have to find that fine line of, like, okay, when can we call it off? Like, no more softball. That was what it was. We did it. Next thing. You know, like, let's be together and, like kind of like in a aware state of mind. Like, don't just, like, now feel like you have to let it out and, like, you know, say bad things about, oh, like, I suck at softball, this is, you don't need to say all that. Like, what can we be better at? And then boom, you change the page. You know, there's another part of your day and your life that you have to live, and, like, how are you going to live that out? You don't want to be, like, screaming at your parents, like, I hate this sport, like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like, no, like, that has to be that has to be cut off. Okay, I didn't have the best day at the plate. Mom, dad, this week we're going to work on this. Boom. You roll out of that parking lot and you guys jam out to some music. You guys get some takeout food wherever. Who knows where? California, In-N-Out. You stop at In-N-Out, you go back home. Like, that's kind of, like, my thing, because, like, I know I've had it so much better than maybe some other kids that maybe their parents are hard on them. But, like, my parents never made it an awkward car ride. It was always, like, my parents are big at Disneyland, and we always had to go to Orange County. My mom, like, whenever she would, like, go to Disneyland and then pick me up from, like, travel ball practice, I could have had the hardest practice. That girl had her ears on. She had her, like, Disney ears on. So,
oh, my gosh, I can picture it.
Isn't it so cute?
Yes,
Like,
it's so
and
cute.
I was, like, I feel like from a young age, I was, like, 14 going to, like, 18U practices, getting my butt handed to me. And I would show up, and my mom, it was either Disneyland or not. So she'd come back with boysenberry punch for me because it was hot. Or she'd come back with, like, some little Disney treat for me. And I was like, you know what? Why am I going to put my bad day on this sweet little angel that has her Disney ears on still? You know, like, no, like, we're not going to, like, do that. And I was so grateful that I had parents that, like, they never took it in the car with them. They never took my outcome in the car with them. It was always just, like, it felt like a different world. Like, I got into, like, my family world, you know? So I feel like as a young kid, like, you can distinguish that. If you don't have that, it's something to work towards. But, like, creating that, it's just going to make you love the sport even more, you know? It's not going to make you hate it, hate the people around you. It's going to make you love it more, I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times people, and especially parents, will ask like that balance between the two.
Yes.
And that's why I will always say just like leading with love, like in that car ride. It's like, you know what, maybe they're being a little brat in the back seat. Like, I know that can be me sometimes, but it's like, okay, in that moment, it's like they're feeling all of these feelings because, like, I'm not going to say we feel all of these feelings because we care so much, and like obviously our parents care so much, and that's where that comes from. And I feel like being older now that I can see that is just parents caring a lot and wanting the best for their kids. But ultimately what it does is like you want to create that space in the car ride and teach them how to let it go. I feel like that's the biggest thing in getting the opportunity to be around so many different families and young girls and parents, all of the above. Like, I see the difference in players that are able to flip it in the car, and that starts when you're young. And you can obviously adapt and grow and get better, like even if you're older, but it's like if you really want to instill, it's about instilling belief even when things aren't going your way. In the car ride, all right, like, yeah, this didn't go your way, but like, what are some things you did well? Or like, how do you want to get better? Okay, like, let's talk about it. And then when the car starts moving, what do you want for dinner? Like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so cute. Like, being able to kind of flip the script a little bit, because if who they love most in the world is doing that, and even if it doesn't feel like that at the time, like, I understand that too. Like, even if it doesn't feel like they're giving you, as the parent, the most love in the world towards your parents, like, they still trust you. Like, especially at that young age, it's like you are who is instilling whenever they go 0 for 3 and they're coming up on their 4th at bat and the bases are loaded. Like, have they flushed it? Like, and I know that it's not all about softball and the performance, but like, if you're like, well, I just want them to be better on the softball field. That car ride is going to make them better. It is, because like being able to flush it and move on is going to help them as a softball player, but then ultimately, and most importantly, in life. Because it's not always going to go your way, and you're going to want to have that flush mentality a lot of times. So I can just see that making the biggest difference when we do that. And it's all about perspective and like being able to have that perspective of leading with love and all of that. And we can go on for that for hours, but we talk about the autograph line. And I just wanted to ask you, like, was there ever a point that you were like, you are in the autograph line? And you're like, that's going to be me. I want to be that person that's signing the autographs. I want to play on the big field. Did you ever feel that way? If so, when? And if not?
I feel like I was a Nepo baby because the show was like, I was a Nepo baby because the show knew all the players that I would watch. So I was always like, the show was like, oh, here, this girl gave you her batting gloves. This girl gave you this. Like, she knew Sister before I knew Sister. And I got to know her, and then she's like, oh my gosh, you're just like Sashelle. So I had like an in already because she knew my sister and she loved my sister. So in that sense, I was never an autograph line kid, because my autograph line, I always wanted Sashelle stuff. Like, Sashelle, can you give me your gear? Sashelle, can I have this? Sashelle, she was sponsored by Wilson. Sash, like, can I have that old glove that you had? Like, I liked it a lot. Like, I was a Nepo baby in that sense. So I feel like my sense of like, I want to do that is when Sashelle went to college. I went to go watch her. She was at ASU. Full circle, Dallas was there. Like, weird how softball brings people together. Dallas is now a pitcher on our staff, and I get to catch her, and she was my sister's pitcher. And that was when I was like, wow, I really want to do this. Funny story, I was really scared of flying, so my parents had to sit down and talk with me of like, are you going to be able to go to college? Because we don't know if you can get on a flight. Like, you're going to have to take flights. And I was like, I don't know if I could do it. Like, so lame. Like, now that I think about it, I was like, I was such a baby. But my moment of like, I want to do this was watching Sash play in college. Like, I thought it was the coolest thing that she like showed up to the locker room 3 hours early, had pregame meal, had all this sweatsuit that she would show up in that she was probably like, I'm tired of this sweatsuit. But like, I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing. That's when I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is so cool. Then fast forward, Sashelle was playing pro. I want to play pro. I want to play with my sister. I feel like those were my moments. And I know that like there's not always people that have like older sisters or someone to look up to, but like the players that you look up to, most of the time they're very good people. Like, I feel like you can model your like life after them. So like, my sister made a life that she modeled basically for me. You know, like, she lived the life of like every day, you know, in the pro life, it's hard to train. You train alone most of the time. She would go out there and train by herself. And I was still in college. I'd come back in the summer, and that's when she had her season. And I would see her going out there and training with my dad every day by herself with my dad, obviously, but like you didn't have your teammates. So she created that kind of like path for me, in a sense, made it easier for me. So I feel like that was my moment, my autograph line moment. But I just feel like I was so fortunate to have someone, older sisters are like a blessing, like because you guys pave the way, you know, and you guys bear all the hard stuff. You guys make it easier for the younger siblings. But like, it's just like, I can sit back and like cry thinking about my sister being an older sister. Like, it's just like such a hard feat to be an older sister, but like she really did create an easier life for me because I got to see someone do it. I had someone close to me, and I feel like that's part of my why. I want girls that look like me. Obviously, I have Latin backgrounds. Like in my space where I grew up, there's a lot of young Latina players that get to see a softball player on the big stage. Like now I look at the AUSL and we have so many Hispanic and Latina players. Like they can look at those players and be like, oh, she looks like me. Like that's so cool. I want her to be my favorite player. I mean, going to Mexico and playing and speaking the native language and like talking with them, there's young girls that are like, I've watched you on TV at UCLA that I didn't even think would be like, oh my gosh, I'm their favorite player. Like there's so many people that watch the screens and love us and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's like something that I think is part of my why is like, wow, I'm so fortunate that even if it's one person that sees me and sees a player that they want to be like, I'm doing my job. You know, I'm doing what I need to be doing and I'm playing in my purpose, you know? So long-winded answer, but.
No, I think that's great. And I want to touch on it for sure, just because like we have such like a core foundation that I think we both share, just like purpose. And I feel like this is something that I've been reading recently that we've not really had the chance to talk about. And especially, I saw it yesterday, just like the difference between like, I feel like purpose and like maybe like what you're called to do. I don't want to say obviously because maybe this is like the first time anybody's ever seen us or talked to us or has any idea who we are, but I feel like we're both very big in our faith. And I feel like I've always I've always like loved the idea of Jesus, right? But I've not always followed or like understood the love, right? When I say lead with love, I feel like that's where maybe mine comes from and is my purpose. And we talk about like, obviously like your why, like to play softball might be a little bit different from your why in life and like why you choose to have that short-term memory, like when life happens, when the loss of loved ones, like, because it's not all about softball. So it's like when we're talking to younger girls that play softball or any other sport, whatever it is, it's like that why, your why and your purpose and like what you feel like your calling is and what your goals are.
I feel like my why a lot of the times is like looking back at that little pink helmet babe, like, you know, that little me, that's my why. Like I play for her, but a part of that, I feel like I kind of discovered meeting you. Like you introduced me to how there can be a possibility. I'm not saying that you need to copy someone that you see and like that you're inspired by, but like you can have your own take on it. But like Montana has really influenced me in a way to like look at my faith and see how it can affect other people. You know what I mean? Like there was this little catcher that she watches me on TV all the time and she'll always text me, hey coach, because I'm like her mental training coach, and she'll be like, I love that you draw a cross in the dirt. And her mom DM'd me, she's like, my daughter's starting to draw a cross in the dirt. And I'm like, oh my God, how cute. I never thought anyone did that. I do it so that I can feel like, okay, God's with me back there, you know, like he's gonna protect me in a sense. Like that's why I do it. Like whenever I do it, I'm like, I want God to protect me back here. Like please take care of me, take care of my teammates, but like protect me back there, because a lot of stuff can happen, you know, in a game. And the little girl, the mom sent me a video, she drew a little cross in the dirt, and I was like, that is what I do it for. Like if that little girl is doing that same little prayer, like God protect me please, like that's what I do it for. And like I feel like that is something that I want to like give to all the girls that I train. I feel like our retreats is going to be something that I'm so excited for. Like I feel like it's just a starting ground, like it's so baseline of like that is what we're going to give these girls, you know, and these catchers, pitchers, whatever position they are, they're going to learn our whys. They're going to see it through us, and they're going to see it kind of like firsthand with us. Like, yeah, I can talk about some little things that I do before the game, but like we're going to have real in-depth time to tell them like how faith and like Christ has come to me through this game, and how like I feel like certain gifts, like I look at it as like God has given me this gift to be able to like show people, and it may not be in a 3-for-3 or 0-for-3 game, but like then in the autograph line, like showing people, oh my gosh, I love your cross necklace. And they're like, oh, thanks. Like, you know, like those little things, or like showing people how I treat my family on the outside, like that is leading with love. You know what I mean? So like just all of that, I feel like together is my why. I'm really excited to like expand on that with the retreats that we're going to do. Like, I feel like I'm going to get to see you, Sam, Sis, like different perspectives, and then share my perspective. I feel like there's also so much like confidence, and I feel like it's going to make me stay true to what I'm saying. Like if I'm going to say it to a group of kids, I'm going to live it. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not going to tell them stuff that I don't think they can take with them, and I'm not even doing myself. Like I feel like there's so much power in like sharing your story and sharing like experiences that you've had in the game with like your faith, with adversity, with all these things, mental toughness, like all that stuff. I feel like it's going to be really cool for me to like hear you guys and also share. I feel like it's going to be a really cool ground for everyone to learn, and even me learn, you know?
Right. And like I feel like the biggest thing too in that is just like knowing, like you mentioned in the autograph line, like you're complimenting somebody, you see somebody, it's like, I see you. Like I feel like so often people will assume like when you reach to a certain point, or whether it's in softball, out of softball, whatever, like a movie star, whatever it is, it's like you have a voice. Even if you're not playing at the highest level, even if you're the bench player, like even if you didn't make the team, like your voice and you matter.
They impact us
like
a lot.
You impact me. Like we're not like at the retreats, like I just feel like anytime that I'm around people that are invested in softball, like you can be 8, you can be 16, you can be 26, 30-some years old, like you have a voice, and your heart and your why matters. So it's like being able to learn from each other and just kind of like bounce back and forth. I feel like it's such like a powerful thing within our sport that we get to have, that is sport wide. It's not pro wide, it's not college wide, it's not high school. It's literally sport wide, where it's like we all love no matter what you believe in, no matter your background, where you come from, how much money you have, like how tall you are, all the things, like you matter. And it's like you, within you is what I want to see.
Yes.
And I feel like that is the difference between, you know, like somebody that knows their why and like their love and like their sparkle.
Yeah.
Like just circling it all back, I feel like you have to realize you, like you matter, your heart matters, like what you say matters, what you do matters. And it's like not in a pressure way, but just like perspective of like all of gratitude, like I get to do this.
Yes, exactly.
I think that is so important for everybody to understand, and a good reminder for me. Like I'm saying this like I'm talking to the camera, and we're talking about it, and she knows this because she hears me and gets to see the other side that I feel like cameras don't get to see. But it's like what an opportunity we have to like just grow as people and as humans, because that's what we are. I mean, we're not perfect, we're not like we have high standards that we don't always meet. So it's just like knowing like that little girl in the pink helmet and the plastic face mask and the pink sock, like that is the same person that we get to talk to. And it's just like what an opportunity that I feel like Jesus has given us to like play with each other and use something that we care so much about in the sport of softball to really be able to open up and be able to talk about what I feel like our purpose and calling it, like whatever you want to call it. But I feel like he's like instilled love in us to be able to share with softball too. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you do such a good job with it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. Those retreats, like I feel like the girls that are going to sign up for it are going to be excited, but I'm even excited.
Yes.
Like I feel like you curated such a good like lineup, I'm going to say. Like you have you, obviously, amazing. Everyone's going to want to see you. But you got Sis Bates, Sam Landry, and me, who we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different starts of life. We all grew up differently, and we all ended up in this space. How did we do it? What was our why? What was our like part that we like had a lot of adversity, and how did we get our sparkle back? Each of us have different stories, and those girls that come, the 50 pitchers, 50 catchers type of thing, who's gonna get something out of that? Like all 4 of us are gonna reach different people. So I feel like that is something that excites me so much. I know I'm excited to hear you guys talk, but I'm also excited to see what the girls get out of it. Like I know that there's going to be one girl that's going to be like, oh my God, Sis said something that just like resonated with me. Like what is the nugget that they're going to take? I feel like that's something I'm so excited for, because each retreat is going to have a different kind of flavor to it. It's going to have like, there's going to be like obviously like standard things. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, but I feel like the topics are going to be different depending on who's there.
It's so like individual based too, because it's like, that's when I say like, I want to see you.
Yeah.
Like, and what makes you tick? What's going to help you? Because it's like, obviously we all love softball and we're going to use that, but it's like, how can we get better at softball? But it's like, let's develop like as people. So I'm just really excited to be able to put all of our favorite things in one with people that are really loving it and ready to grow and just compete on all aspects. It's just going to be so much fun.
I know. I'm really excited. I feel like I was excited for season, but this is giving us like motivation for after season. Like we're going to get to spend time with each other, obviously, but it's going to be so fun to be able to, you know, go on that retreat and like meet all these new friends, like all these softball sisters that we're going to meet, and like just us impact them and them impact us.
Yeah, 100%. Is that Bree?
Yeah, I see her.
Bree, 5 minutes. I was about to say, wait, do we have another chair?
You could bring her here.
Yeah. Bree, do you know if there's another chair? Or is that even doable with the camera set up?
I don't have a third mic.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Just 5 minutes and then we'll switch out. I really only like just a couple more questions because like obviously I love what we've been doing.
Yeah, we got.
But there's a couple things that like I think that I just want to hear your answers.
Okay. Let's do it.
I want to know what's something that people don't get about being a catcher unless they are a catcher.
Good heavy hitter question, Tana. Something about being a catcher that you won't get unless you're a catcher. You won't get it unless you're a catcher. When your pitcher is celebrating, that feeling you get when you see them, like, I mean, Megan Farema, we love her. Mm-hmm. She literally told me, she's like, my mom could be playing second base and I'd run and hug you first. Like that feeling that we had that championship game, guys, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. It's such a gratifying feeling. Like I felt like I did my job that year when we hugged together. Yeah. After that championship strikeout. Like I feel, whoa, you guys.
Whoa.
Woo, what's happening? That's the first time I've ever won anything. So I'm like, I hold that so true to my heart, that championship. But you will never understand. I feel like it's an out-of-body experience. It's like you're so happy for your pitcher, but it's also like something that you know you contributed to. Mm-hmm. So it's like, wow, like that's probably what a coach feels. Like a coach feels like so much gratitude. They weren't like the one to actually do it. Like I didn't strike out that girl, but I had like a hand in it. I was like, you know, I was right there with you. But it's that feeling of like having your pitcher succeed. You get that like feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud. Like I feel like catchers will only understand that because, I mean, position players aren't in that foxhole with you. You know what I mean? Like they are, like, trust me, position
in the
players.
larger
Foxhole.
Yes, in the larger one, but the tiny one where there's only two people.
Exactly. That tiny one that you can only fit two people in, the pitcher and the catcher are in. It's just that feeling of like, oh my God, we did it. Like that is so special. And like having my pitchers, like all my pitchers after a game will come and hug me. And I'm like selfish. I'm like,
You're like,
everyone get away. My pitcher hugged me. Like it's our moment. Let us have our love fest, you know? Like our softball relationship that we have, like we're just like so close. But that's a feeling that I feel like no one will understand unless you're a catcher. And also after a game, people don't get that like,
you're like, give me some ice. Give me some ice.
That is also something like funny wise, that's something that people don't get.
I love that. I love that. I want to also know this one, and this can be whatever you want it to be, but what is something that young Shar would be proud of in you right now?
I think of that a lot. I think of it a lot because I'm like, you know what? Like, am I being the player that young Sharlize would be like, you're the coolest one? Like, obviously I looked at Sashelle with those eyes. Like, I would never tell it to her.
But now that's you.
Like, that's me. Like, I'm getting to be the player that I have always wanted to see. And I feel like I worked to be that every single day. Like, am I going to be the player that if she strikes out, am I going to be like throwing my helmet? No. Like little Sharlize doesn't want to see that. Sharlize wants to see the badass that's like on second base, like, let's go. Like, I feel like that is the player that I'm so proud of. Like someone that's just so passionate, like a player that little Sharlize would not take her eyes off of. Like, I feel like I get to be that player that I am right now. Like, I have to think, like, little Sharlize is in row 1, seat 13, obviously, with 13, you know. Little Montana can be in seat 14.
Yeah, they're next to each
They're
other.
next to each other, sitting there, you know. I want to be the player that little Sharlize is like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And obviously being like a young little diva, funny part, I'm like, you know what, young Sharlize would be happy that I do my makeup and I look cute when I play. And I put like cute little eye black on, like I do my hair cute, like she'll be happy about that. But like deeper level, like I want to play with passion and not let like outcome dictate how I do. Like, so like if I didn't get on my first 2 at-bats, but my 3rd at-bat I get on, I still want to get hype. Who cares that I didn't get it on the first 2? Like, my little Sharlize wants to see me get hype and do like our little celebrations and like hit my chest and do stuff like that. Like, she wants to see me do that stuff. When I throw out a runner, let me not be like all cool and like, yeah, I've done it before, but be like, yes, let's go. Like, point at my shortstop. If we strike someone out, like, I'm going to jump up in the air. Like, I laugh at myself because sometimes I'll look at videos and be like,
Girl,
you're jumping too high. You didn't strike them out. Like, what are you doing? But like, sometimes when Megan will like throw her arm and hit her chest, I'm doing the same thing with her. I'm slamming the ball. I'm like getting all hype. Like, I love that. Like, that is someone little baby Sharlize would look at and be like, oh my gosh, she's such a cool player. I want to do that when I play. Like, that little helmet would be like hitting her chest, you know? That's someone that I want little Sharlize to be proud of. And I think she will be proud of, is that I put it all out there. I'm passionate. I do what I love. And then also that I slay.
Yeah.
I slay the day away.
And you don't have to wait until you're a pro doing that. Like, I feel like you can kind of look at each year by year. It's like, what would last year's me be proud of for this year? So like, if you're 14, what would 13-year-old you be proud of and 14-year-old you?
Yeah.
So it's not like it even has to be like that different wide of a range. It's just like, what is something that last year me would be proud of? So I really love that. And just to wrap things up, really, like, what is something that you think? Because we could sit here, I'm not joking you, and do this all day long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I've asked any
We would
of the
just
real
need another
questions.
coffee.
Well, show yours. Let's talk about, she talked, she listened, but like, no. Except it was both of us, and this is how it is every single time.
All the time. This is actually pretty good for me.
That's pretty good, so I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but.
What is, if you, and this is like a general question, but like, I want it to be like, if young Shar and baby Montana were standing here and they had no idea what was coming, what was to come, the best is yet to come. Like, we talk about that all the time. What is something that you would tell them, baby Montana and baby Shar, that they don't know? And it's like, you know what? You fight for it. You're determined.
Yeah.
It's coming, girl.
Yeah.
What is something that you would try to instill in them?
Yeah.
In this moment in their career?
I feel like something that I've always had to turn back to is like, keep having fun because it's taking you this far. Like, little did I know that little Sharlize would be, you know, fighting for a spot on Team USA. Little did I know that little Sharlize would win a championship. Little did I know that little Sharlize would go to UCLA and lift a Pac-12 trophy winner championship. And like, little did she know, but she did it all having fun. Like, those things wouldn't have happened if I didn't continue to have fun. If I wasn't having fun, I would have stopped playing. And I know that little Montana too, like the competitiveness too, but like, it's so fun to compete, you know? So like, not losing that aspect, I would tell little Sharlize, like, keep having fun because you don't know that the best is yet to come. Like, I feel like that would be the sentence I would tell her. And like, I feel like a little me would be like, oh my God, what does the future hold? Like, I'm so excited for that. But like, that is what I would say, because never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be calling myself a pro softball player. Like, I wrote it on my kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? But like, I never thought that I would be making a living playing softball, then going to retreats, then going to USA camps, then competing to be on that roster for an Olympic gold medal. You know what I mean? Like, how cool is that? When you say it out loud, we live it every day. We live every day to acquire those things, be on that roster, win this championship, do those things.
And people, I feel like oftentimes don't believe us when we say like, that's you, babe.
Yeah.
Like, that's you. Like, I genuinely remember that feeling of like, you know, like really needing to choose to see the fun.
Yes.
Like, you're going to go through that, the hills and the valleys and all of the above, but it's like that fun aspect. It's like, if you're fighting for it, if you're like, oh, there's no way that that could be me. Like, I'm just the person on the autograph line. Like, No, we're talking to you because like with determination, with hard work, with all the things that I feel like we've talked about is very common within
Yes.
a lot of us, like that mindset and that discipline and like being able to turn the switch and like the eagerness to learn all of the things. Like that's you. You can do this. Like this is growing, this is evolving, like it's doing nothing but going up, and it's like hop on the train because like you are going to be here.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to be talking to you one day about
Yes,
this and your journey. So
exactly.
it's like don't give up, like really believe the best is yet to come, and because it is.
Yeah.
Like but it is a choice, like to see the fun and surround yourself with great people and like have that mindset, which is what I'm so grateful for, and being able to talk with you because, and we're going to have to do it again because I feel like I could just keep going and going and going, but it's like being able to work up here and not just out here. Like work up here, work in here, and truly the best is yet to come. And I hope that they get to see just a small glimpse in that in you, and we're going to be able to do that for years to come together. But I'm just so grateful for you and like the love that you bring not only to the game of softball, but to me as an individual. I'm just excited to be able to hopefully display like maybe just a little ounce of the love that you have in your body. I just am so grateful for you and who you are.
Yeah,
so.
I'm grateful for you. Like this is gonna be so awesome, and I like already know that people are gonna fall in love with you because you're a great host. Like this is so in your calling, like awesome. But like also like the nuggets that you share and like the comfortability that you let me have to like share my story. Like people are just gonna resonate with it, and I just like love that you have also like taught me things that like me at 25 years old, I'm like getting all this like information. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like learning so much from you, and you're only a year older than me, and like we're so close like as friends obviously, but like imagine what a little kid is gonna get out of this. Like oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come.
Cheers.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed this episode, which I know that you loved it, make sure that you follow on all platforms in Fouts 14. And don't forget more than anything to just be the blessing, and you are already that. So just do that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Sharlize. You're just incredible, and I cannot wait to follow the rest and be a part of the rest too. You're a blessing.
And I love you.
I love you.
Mwah.